Ma foi, my dear Albert, you are fated to hear music this evening. You have escaped the piano of Mademoiselle d'Anglais, only to suffer Haydée playing the sitar.
Haydée? What an adorable name.
It is a kind of baptism name, as you Parisians call it. Means chastity, modesty, innocence.
Oh, how much more charming Mademoiselle Eugénie might appear to me if I could call her chastity or modesty.
Not so loud. Haydée may hear.
She would be angry?
No, slave does not dictate to a master.
Come, you are joking yourself now. Slave to the Count of Monte-Cristo? From the way you lavish money, that position must be worth 100,000 francs a year.
Poor girl was born to a much greater fortune. She was a princess once, the daughter of the Pasha of Yanina.
Why? It was in his service my father made his fortune.
True, I'd forgotten that.
But how could a great princess become a slave?
Fortunes of war, my dear Viscount. I bought her one day, as I was passing through the market at Constantinople.
My dear Count, I beg you as a favor to present me to your princess.
Very well, but on one condition.
Name it.
You must not tell her that your father ever served hers. Ali, tell Haydée that I will take coffee with her, and that I wish to present one of my friends to her.
Whom do you bring?
A friend, Viscount Albert.
You are most welcome as the friend of my lord and master.
Excuse my stupidity. I'm quite bewildered. Here I am in the heart of Paris, but now I feel as if I was suddenly transported to the Orient of my dreams.
If you like what is Eastern, I will do my best to satisfy your curiosity, though I left Greece when I was but 5 years old.
Do you remember your father, Haydée?
I remember sitting under a sycamore tree, rustling leaves and trembling branches reflected in the lake like a magic mirror. My mother resting against his shoulder, while I played among the cushions at his feet. His strong hands holding me, stroking my hair. Above us, the green summit, the towering heights of Mount Pindus, gigantic fir trees and the stern, majestic castle of Yanina, rising white and angular from the still blue waters. On his knee, I touched the long white beard and watched the smoke from his chibuk spiral upwards, perfumed with the mingled scent of rosewater and sandalwood. He is here and here.
What became of him?
We were betrayed by an officer my father trusted. I don't recall his name. When the castle was besieged, my mother and I hid, while my noble father, his face blackened by gunpowder, fought for his life, surrounded by enemies. We watched him die in a whirlwind of smoke and fire when the floor gave way. We were sold to some slave merchants who were going to Constantinople. When we arrived at the imperial gates, the crowd parted to let us through. Suddenly, my mother uttered a piercing cry and fell to the ground. On top of the gates, a head was stuck on a spike. Beneath it were inscribed the words, Altabililan, Pasha of Yanina. Crying bitterly, I tried to raise my mother from the earth, but she was dead. I was bought at the slave market by Sultan Mahmud, who instructed me till I was 13 years of age.
Who sold her to me for the emerald that matched this one.
Oh, you are good. You are great, my lord.
What a frightful story.
Haydée is very courageous. It consoles her to talk of the past.
Diable!
You were disappointed? Tell me, the first time you tasted truffles or oysters, did you like them? No. Well, it is the same with this. You are a poet, a musician. Taste this, and the boundaries of reality disappear. A world of infinite space opens to you. Are you ambitious? Taste this, and dreams become attainable. Throw off the shackles. Unfetter your mind. Let the spirit roam.
How do you take your coffee? À la française or à la turque? Strong or weak?
I will take it à la turque.
And you are right. Ah, those Orientals. They know how to live. When I've completed my affairs in Paris, you must seek me in the East, in Cairo, Baghdad, or Isfahan.
Ma foi, it would be the easiest thing in the world. I feel eagle's wings sprouting out of my shoulders. To take me there, I could tour the four corners of the world.
Ah, fear nothing. Unfurl your wings, and if they melt before the sun, we're here to watch over you.
You passed your life in traveling?
I live the happiest life possible, the life of a sultan. I stay in one place until I grow weary of it, and then I'm gone. Sometimes I amuse myself by carrying off some criminal pursued by the law, placing them beyond human reach, to dispense my own mode of justice. Silent, absolute, without respite or appeal.
You have suffered a great deal, sir.
What makes you suppose that?
Your manner, the tone of your voice. You sound like a man who has a fearful account to settle with society. A man set on revenge.
It is the sweetest word. Revenge, the only sound I've heard. I have waited for so long to pay that burn for the wrong done.
Through our bear's befuddled senses, we see Hades' seductive and alluring attendants transformed into vengeful harpies, whirling like dervishes, aggressively wielding swords.
Bertuccio, summon Ali.
Excellency.
Ali, with your lasso, could you stop an ox?
Ali mimed throwing his lasso.
Or a lion? I understand you have hunted the lion. Then listen to me. Soon a carriage will dash past here, drawn by the pair of dappled greys you returned yesterday. Yes, the special fee. Now, even at the risk of your own life, you must stop those horses as they rush past my gate.
Sir, I've made it my duty to call on you and express my thanks for the service you rendered to my wife yesterday.
Monsieur, I am happy to have been the means of preserving the life of your wife. It is a rare honor to receive a visit from Monsieur de Villefort.
I trust you will not object to my offering some reward to your servant. I understand he risked his life.
His life, sir, belongs to me. Ali is my slave. It was his duty.
You seem geographically engaged, sir. It is a rich study for you who, I've heard, has seen as many lands as there are drawn on this globe.
I have sought to study the human race en masse, just as you, no doubt, observe the individuals you prosecute. But do sit down.
You philosophize. Having spent your life in the Orient where justice is delivered in a more barbarous manner, you will not appreciate the slow and prudent course the law takes here.
It's true that in those parts men retain the old law of an eye for an eye and a tooth for tooth.
Well, if this law were adopted, our legal system would be greatly simplified and magistrates would not have much to do. But until that time, we're all subject to the rule of law.
Are we, sir? No country can say it saw my birth. I adopt all customs, speak all languages, asking no protection from any government, acknowledging no man as my brother. I can utter words you have never heard, even from the mouths of kings. For kings have need of you, and others fear you. Who does not say to himself, perhaps someday I may have to come before the king's prosecutor?
But the moment you enter France, you are naturally bound by her laws.
I know it, sir. But when I visit a country, I study the men from whom I have anything to hope or fear. It follows that even if I had to deal with the king's prosecutor, he might be more embarrassed than I.
Well, that is to say, human nature being weak, every man has his faults.
Faults or crimes?
Oh, then you alone are perfect?
No, not perfect. But let us change the subject.
No, by no means. Your conversation is elevating. Have you any relations, Count?
No, sir. I am alone in the world.
So much the worse, because then you might witness a spectacle calculated to humble your pride. Come, if you will, and continue this conversation at my house, and I will show you my father, Noirtier de Villefort, the fiery Jacobin who played with revolutions, Monsieur Noirtier, for whom France was a vast chessboard, reduced by a stroke to a helpless old man. A dumb, frozen carcass, paralyzed by the rupture of a tiny blood vessel on a lobe of his brain, destroyed in an instant as if he'd been struck down by God for some hidden fault.
Since you bid me to see this terrible sight, I will call on you, sir, perhaps tomorrow. I have taken a notion to visit the telegraph at Monte-Cristo, and in a few hours' time it will be dark.
The telegraph?
I have often seen one placed at a crossroad, its black arms bent in all directions like the claws of a giant beetle, and I wish to observe one more closely.
You are a singular man. The nearest way is the road to Bayonne. Adieu, sir. I hope we may know each other better.
Bertuccio, you will inform Monsieur Danglars that I wish to purchase Spanish bonds.
What sum did your Excellency have in mind?
Oh, 500,000. No, 1,000,000. That should whet his appetite. When I buy, he buys. And tell Ali to have the carriage ready by 6.
Excuse me, sir. I'm not up there at my post. I know, but...
Calm yourself, my friend. I am not an inspector, merely a curious traveller. Gather the rest of your strawberries.
The dormouse have had most of them. Listen, I had 4 apricots. They stole 2. I had a nectarine. Only the one mine. They ate half of it on that there wall. A big, juicy nectarine. I never tasted better.
You ate the rest?
I wasn't going to waste it all. Oh, them furry little Did you come here to see the telegraph, sir?
Yes, if it is not contrary to the rules.
Oh, no, there ain't no orders against that. It's simple enough. I gets a signal from the telegraph on me right-hand side, and then I repeats it to the telegraph on me left, see? Look, he's signalling. He wants to know if I'm ready.
Let him. Tell me, what would you do if you had money?
Sir, you're distracting me. I'll get fined.
How much? Has that ever happened before?
100 francs. I was planting a rose tree.
1/10 of your wages. Suppose you were to alter a signal and substitute another.
I could never do that. I'd get the sack and lose me pension.
Not even for 15 years' wages?
15,000 francs?
You can buy a pretty little house with a garden and some land. Here, count it. Then send this message instead.
Sir, I don't know. I really don't know.
Do this, and you will have nectarines.
Nectarines!
When I was just a girl, not so long ago, I would sing, I would play, how fast the days seem to go. But he has changed the way I feel, there's nowhere I would rather be. I love him, it's everything to me. Has changed in so many ways. Where is the child I once knew? I never yearned for those younger days. I've got a future. Has changed in so many ways. Where is the child I once knew? I never yearned for those younger days, 'cause I've got a future.
My lord?
Haydée, here are the documents. The register of your birth, signed by your father and witnessed, and that of your baptism. Your father consented to you being brought up in your mother's faith. And lastly, the record of the sale of your mother and yourself to the Armenian merchant El Kabir.
Excellency, your pistols.
Ali, protect Haydée. Bertuccio, come with me.